everybody. Welcome to This Day. It is Friday and it is May 27th. Getting ready for our Memorial Day weekend. So we've got some great stuff for you today. But first I want to let you know there are no meetings today. And also on Monday that the community center has some special hours, and many of our clubhouses have certain hours as well. So you may want to check that out on the Laguna Woods Village website, just to check to make sure what is open and what isn't open. All right, on our show today, we have young Kim, who is here because she is running for Congress. And she wants to tell us all about her initiatives and some things that she thinks are really going to help our seniors. And then we also have the crazy quilters of Laguna Woods. Now, they say they're not crazy, they just love to quilt. So we have a couple ladies, Brenda and Donna, and they're going to show us some of their amazing work. All right, let's take a look at our weather. Well, we're trying to burn off our fog this morning, but we will see the sunshine later today. Take a look at these numbers. We are looking at 71-60 today. Tomorrow, 71-56. On Sunday, 70-55. And then Monday for Memorial Day, it will be partly sunny skies, 72-58. And then Tuesday, we jump up to 76-64. If you are traveling this weekend, well, I'd be on the road right now because it's going to be a long drive wherever you are going. Lots of people are leaving. Our local temperatures, we are looking at 66-50. San Diego, 65-60. Santa Barbara, 70-57. Palm Springs, 94-68. Tahoe, 53-30. Big Bear, 68-40. Mammoth, 59-30, and Las Vegas is 95-68, and it will be a bit windy on Sunday. Our sunrise this morning was at 5:43, and our sunset will be at 7:53. And thank you, Cole, for sending in this gorgeous photo of up here. And look at those colors. Boy, that is a very orange sunset. So thank you for sending that in. If you have a photo you would like to share with us, please email it to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. And starting next week, we would like you to please send in photos of summertime. You know, maybe you went to a picnic or you went to the beach. Just send us some photos like that. And we're going to have a contest. So if you send us a photo, we will put your name into a hat, and we will draw your name at the end of the month for a special Village Television Cup. So go ahead and send in those photos to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. All right, when we come back, we will have young Kim, so stick around.
As we advance through the years, challenges in our daily activities arise. Lake Forest Services hire caregivers that go through stringent screening and compliance processes for assistance in all daily activities. Qualified veterans may also receive care as a VA benefit. We also provide full-service palliative and hospice care through Lake Forest Hospice. Our medical director and his team accommodates house calls to those in need. We exist to create seamless transitions that enhance quality of life.
Diane's Hallmark in Laguna Niguel is now an Elam's Hallmark, and we are excited to be part of your community. We have just remodeled, and you will be surprised by the wide variety of fashion and accessories, home decor, collectibles, Disney, Peanuts, Harry Potter, and Star Wars, along with the largest Hallmark card selection in town. Stop in today and sign up for our Crown Rewards program and get a free Just Because card. Once a member, you can get a free card once a month. Elam's Hallmark, your neighborhood gift store.
Adventure has a new look. The 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness. Shore-footed symmetrical all-wheel drive. Paired with all-terrain Yokohama Geolander tires. Plus 9.2 inches of ground clearance. Discover adventure on a deeper level. The all-new 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness.
Irvine Subaru. Buy online, just come in to sign. Get 2 years complimentary maintenance included on all new Subarus.
Stigmas don't shatter often in the world of hearing aids, so when they do, it makes history. Meet Signia Active, innovative hearing aids disguised as earbuds. Built on our iconic Experience platform, they deliver exceptional hearing in noisy environments. Simply pop them in for a hearing boost on demand or wear them all day for non-stop support. You'll benefit from Bluetooth streaming, enhanced speech understanding, natural, personalized sound, and noise reduction technology. Their portable case holds extra charges, while our intuitive app provides 24/7 support and assistance during masked conversations. It's time for better hearing on your own terms, and that's history in the making. Signia, enhancing human performance.
Welcome back. I mentioned we have young Kim here, and she's going to tell us all about her campaigning that she's doing for Congress. Well, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me, Lisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're welcome. And, you know, we appreciate you coming here. And I know you were mentioning that you're back and forth a lot. And, you know, that's tough. It's tough on a family, and it's tough on your work. And you were mentioning that you do lots of video, which is really a great tool. And you know, Zoom has also been a great tool for us as well. So that's wonderful you could be here. So tell me a little bit about your current position and what you've been having to do.
Sure. I currently represent California's 39th Congressional District. It's been an honor to represent the communities where I lived and worked and raised my 4 children, and now my grandchildren live here. So we've been Orange County resident for over 3+ decades. And during that time, currently I'm representing North Orange County areas, but with the redistricting that happens every 10 years, I am very proud to be running in California's 40th Congressional District. Okay. And for the first, very short time I've been in office, I've been able to accomplish and bring results to my constituents. And I've been focusing on making sure that we bring our economy back on track, bring some common sense in legislating. And I've been working to make sure that we focus on especially those senior citizens and the retirees that are living on fixed income. I'm working to fight and protect Social Security, Medicare. These are all important issues, and I will continue to do that because especially during the time in the last 2 years we've seen under the lockdown. We mentioned, and you mentioned in your opening, how I've been doing a lot of correspondence and connecting with my constituents through the Zoom meetings, conference calls, and those are the ways that I stay connected through teletown halls, or webinars, or even roundtable discussions whenever I'm back in the district.
That's awesome. And I want to show the picture of your family because you said you have, 3 generations, and that's a lot of experience over the years in our area, right? And so what I'm wondering is that what have you seen from the very beginning of when you started on your path to what's happening now? What are some things you want to see change?
Well, first of all, as an immigrant from South Korea, it's an honor of my lifetime to be able to live the American dream. Never thought that I would be an elected official representing the communities and the people that I call home in Washington. But over those years, over the last several decades especially, what we thought was a golden state of California, it's no longer recognizable. So I'm fighting those socialist policies in Washington. Nancy Pelosi, Biden administration, they are promoting the socialist policies. So I'm making sure, because I served in the California State Assembly before I went to Washington, I want to make sure the policies coming out of Sacramento do not become the new federal normal. I'm fighting for pro-growth, pro-business policies that will get our economy back on track. I want to fight to keep the American dream alive. And as I mentioned, I have 4 grown-up children, I have grandchildren, so it's not just my generation fight here. I'm fighting to ensure that the American dream for all Americans, especially for the next generation, is still there. But it's really important as we age that we protect Medicare, protect Social Security. So those are the focuses that I'm paying attention to, and access to quality healthcare, especially for seniors to have access to healthcare through telehealth, which was critically important during COVID, but also audio care, access to more Social Security, quality Medicare programs. Those are all important things, and I'm already addressing those. I'm working on fighting inflation with the legislation that I introduced. It's called the Combating Painful Inflation.
Oh.
And I'm fighting to make sure that our communities are safe to live and do business with. We have seen rising organized retail crimes. So I introduced a legislation to combat just that, make sure federal government put it as a priority. Border security is national security. I've seen, and I've gone down to the border 3 times in my short time, and I've recognized that no one border state has the same crisis. So I introduced a bill called the Comprehensive Southern Border Strategy to come up with a mile-by-mile strategy, because California, Arizona, and Texas border, we have a different set of challenges that we have. We need to provide more resources to the border patrols, because we have record number of migrants coming through those borders. If we don't get it under control, our communities will suffer.
I want to ask you a little bit about that, because you yourself, you're an immigrant and you've been here a long time. How do you think some of the migration that's coming over the border is going to affect your children and grandchildren?
Well, we're worried about the human trafficking. We're worried about the fentanyl that is being smuggled into our communities. As you know, fentanyl is now the #1 cause of death for Americans between the ages of 18 to 45. My children are growing up, my grandchildren are growing up, they're going to be affected by those. So what we see at the southern border, migrants crossing the border, is undermining our legal immigration. We came here legally to live that American dream. It is eroding. So we need to get back and get a better control of our southern border.
Let's talk a little bit about veterans. We have an awful lot of veterans, and we have VA hospitals, and some of them are really not doing a lot for our veterans. What do you think you might be able to help there?
I'm already addressing those. In my current district, we have close to 37,000 veterans. Look, my sister served in the United States Army for 28 years. Her husband served 28 years also. My husband and her brother are veterans. We served honorably, giving back to America, because we're so appreciative of what America has provided to us. My promise is that when we ask you to serve, you answer the call of duty. When you come back, we want to be able to protect you. We want to help you assimilate back into the communities with your resources. If you're going into startup businesses, we want to be there for you. I have a legislation, especially seniorpreneurship. Did you know that a lot of veterans included, seniors between the age of 55 and 64 are the fastest growing business entrepreneurs doing the startup businesses. That include minority-owned, veteran-owned. So I'm paying attention to making sure that the promises we make to veterans especially are the promises that we're going to keep.
Love it. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing all of this information.
Thank you.
And good luck to you.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
find out pretty soon here in about a week.
It's an honor of my lifetime to serve, and I'm looking forward to representing 48th Congressional District and all the residents here in South Orange County, including those that live here in Laguna Woods.
Thank you very
Thank
much. All right. And if you want more information about Young Kim and all of the things that she's going to do, you can go to youngkimforcongress.com. We'll be right back.
Playoff time is just about over. We had some big victories and some teams were eliminated in another dramatic week of sports. I'm Cole Young, and welcome back to another edition of Sports Corner. Probably the biggest shock and most thrilling story of the week was the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning came into these playoffs as a number 3 seed and barely squeaked past the Toronto Maple Leafs in round 1. Now, in the second round, the Lightning again looked like a Stanley Cup winning team as they swept the number 1 seed Florida Panthers 4-0. The Lightning never gave up more than 1 goal in any game during the series. On top of that, they did this without one of their best scorers, Braden Point, who has been out with an injury since Game 7 of the series with Toronto. Completing the sweep, however, gives the Lightning and Point plenty of time to rest. Tampa Bay will now have to wait until the Hurricanes and Rangers series is complete. And the Hurricanes are currently up 3-2. Game 6 will be this Saturday, and if needed, Game 7 will be on Monday. On the other side of the bracket, the Colorado Avalanche and St. Louis Blues are still battling it out, and the Avs are currently up 3-2, and Game 6 will be tonight at 5 p.m. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Battle of Alberta. The Edmonton Oilers and Calgary Flames have been incredible to watch. For example, Game 1 ended with a score of 9-6, and both teams were scoring what felt like every 1 to 2 minutes. Then, in Game 3, Oilers left wing Evander Kane scored a natural hat trick over a 6-minute period. To clarify, this means Kane scored 3 consecutive goals in 6 minutes. After victory on Tuesday, the Oilers jumped out to a 3-1 lead. Edmonton was then able to secure the series and move on to the conference finals, winning Game 5 and defeating the Flames 4-1. Playoff hockey is incredibly intense and maybe a little bit stressful for fans, but it's just about over, and I know I'm going to miss it once it's gone. The other playoffs that are even closer to being over are happening over in the NBA. In the Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics are up 3-2, and Game 6 will be tonight at 5:30. This series has been completely back and forth, with both teams swapping wins. I can't fully remember if there's ever been a series like this where the games have pretty much all been blowouts, but the series itself is very tight. Over in the West, it's been pretty much the opposite. Aside from Game 1, where the Warriors won by 25, the Golden State and Dallas series have had very close games, but Golden State started off dominating the series. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead. And in Game 4, the Mavericks played hard and well and had a major lead over the Warriors. But in typical Warriors fashion, they got hot at the right time and closed the gap quickly, almost looking like they might complete the sweep and take out the Mavericks. But Dallas was able to secure the victory and survive for one more game. They weren't able to survive too much longer though, as the Warriors won the series after winning Game 5. The Warriors are now back in the NBA Finals and are looking to continue their dynasty. For reference, the Warriors have been in 5 of the last 7 finals series and won 3 of those. They now await for the end of the Eastern Conference Finals to see who they will take on, either the Celtics or the Heat. Moving away from the world of major sports, there's a big event happening this weekend in one of my all-time favorite sports. The World Surf League is back this weekend with an event on the men's and women's championship tour. The Quicksilver and Roxy Pros will kick off this Saturday at Plengkung Beach, also known as G-Land, located on the eastern tip of the Java Island in Indonesia. This beach is known to have some of the best surf in the world, and it should make for a thrilling surf event. This event also has not been a part of the championship tour since 1997, so that adds just another layer of excitement. Felipe Toledo and John Florence currently hold the 1 and 2 spots on the men's leaderboard, respectively. On the women's side, Brisa Hennessy holds the top seat, with 5-time world champion Carissa Moore just 1 spot below her. Tune in on the WSL website this weekend to check out the event. To round out the show, I, of course, had to bring up something about the NFL. Every year, the best players at each position from both the NFC and AFC are selected to the Pro Bowl. This is a great honor for the players, as it means they're among the best at their position. They take a tropical vacation and have a week full of fun events and practices, and then play a ceremonial game, AFC versus NFC, on the Sunday before the Super Bowl every year. However, the game has become more of just a tradition that players and fans have to endure. The games are not competitive in the slightest, and the players participate at less than half speed to avoid injury in a game that means nothing. So the NFL is attempting to make changes. In the past couple of years, they've added fun competitions like obstacle courses and dodgeball games. While that's all fun and good, the core issue is still the game itself. So the NFL announced earlier this week they are looking at new options, one of which might be getting rid of the game altogether and finding new ways to showcase the players. One of those new ways might be a flag football game, and to be honest, that sounds like the best option to me. Only time will tell how the NFL chooses to replace this event, and I will report more as soon as the news breaks. As always, I appreciate you joining me for this week's edition of Sports Corner. Enjoy your weekend, have a happy Memorial Day, and I'll see you next week.
welcome back. Well, we have the crazy quilters here. And of course, in my opener, I said they're not crazy. They just love to quilt. We have Brenda and Donna. Well, welcome, ladies. How are you?
Good. We're good. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to get through. So first, let's start out with who you are and how long you've been quilting. So we'll start with you, Brenda.
Well, I've been quilting for less than a year.
Oh, wow.
And trying very hard to get a little bit better.
That's great. How long have you lived in the woods?
We've owned a place for about 10 years, but we wintered here for a couple times and loved it so much that we moved here.
I love it. That's great. And how about you, Donna?
I've been quilting for about 20 years, and I've lived here for about 4 years.
Oh, wow, that's great. You know what I love is the fact that you've only been doing it a year, and you've been doing it for so long that it's nice that you can teach people. So it really doesn't matter if you're an expert or not, right?
That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They got me going.
They got you going. That's great. Well, what are some of the things that you need to have as a quilter? Like, do you need to have a sewing machine?
Actually, you don't, because if you came to Clubhouse 4, we have the sewing machines, we have all the tools that you need to cut the fabrics, we have patterns, we have templates,
wonderful.
Thread, needles, everything. You don't need one thing to start out.
I love it because, you know, sometimes people just don't know where to start, so I think that's awesome. Tell me a little bit about the club, how long it's been around, how many members?
Okay, so it's about 20 years. The club has been around. We have about 50 members, paid members, and what else? And we've recently started working with the sewers in the next room. Designing simple quilts that pretty much anybody could do. This one only has 5 pieces in it. And a simple back without a binding.
So let's kind of hold this up a little bit. So this is like a panel, these little panels here.
Yeah,
and then you sew those together.
This is a panel. We just added strips on either end. And this is the kind of quilt that we've been doing. The quilters make a kit, the sewers do the sewing, and this is what we've been using for our chemo quilt project for City of Hope.
And they're really soft. This is super soft.
It's a fleece back. It's not your traditional cotton backing with the batting.
Okay, and you said you're doing this for chemotherapy people?
Right. Right now, our current project is for City of Hope. Our goal is 130. We're over 100 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great. Now, now look at, we're showing a picture right now. Is that all of the ones that you've made?
Now, these are, you tell them.
This is the placemat project that we did. Meals on Wheels contacted us, and they wanted to give a placemat with Easter dinner to those receiving their meals.
That is
so as a reward, there's another picture.
Oh, one more. There's another one, and it has a cake in it.
And so I had this cake made, and Donna loves purple, so it's in her honor.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I wanted to say thank you to all the people that helped us, and we completed that in less than 3 weeks.
Man, that is amazing. That is awesome.
And also, I'd like to give a heads up, or a shout out actually, to Gary Barnes. Because he is one of our quilters, believe it or not. We have several men that quilt.
Nice.
And he is our photographer.
Oh, good. So he took those photos. That's fantastic. Let's talk about what's behind you. So that is a much larger quilt, much more difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So why is this more difficult?
Well, just by the number of pieces.
Okay.
And it was a group project. We had a couple of ladies choose the fabrics from our fabric that we have available to make quilts for donation.
Okay.
And then we designed the quilt. Another gal, Linda Dunnigan, pieced the quilt.
Oh, wow.
I quilted the quilt, the layers, and someone else put the binding on. So this is what we call an opportunity quilt. This we'll have at the Art Affair on June 4th.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay.
And if you can make a donation to the Guild, you may receive the quilt, and then we use that money to buy the fleece backing and also the batting to go in all the quilts that we donate. That's how we raise the money to make our charity quilts.
Yeah. Now I know on camera they really can't see the details, but there's so much that goes into all of this. How long does something like this take?
Oh, it takes hours and hours.
Right.
Yeah,
From start to finish.
From start to
finish.
finish.
Like weeks?
I would say weeks, yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, it's absolutely beautiful. What do people use the quilts for?
Well, they use it for decor. These they use to stay warm.
Yes.
So I would say both, decor and to stay warm.
And some people make wall hangings, beautiful wall hangings.
Yeah, we are making a couple of those for the Art Affair too, just to to get outside our usual things that we do.
So you are going to be at the art fair, which is great, art
Right,
fair, and
right.
that's on June 4th, I believe.
June 4th.
Good.
In Clubhouse 2.
Great,
Right.
great. That's wonderful. Well, I love all the things that you guys are doing. You're very busy. What are some things that you're requesting right now? Like for donations, other than obviously monetary, but what about?
The one thing that we're using, I've found from talking to chemo patients, and also yesterday talking to our contact for the VA community, for veterans community, is that they really appreciate the fleece back.
Okay.
So that's something that most of us quilters don't have in our stash to donate.
Okay.
So either the fleece itself or donations for the fleece backing would really help, because our next goal will be our next project will be to make more of this size quilts and smaller quilts and bigger quilts for veterans and firefighters. Soon as we finish this, we're going to move on to that.
Oh, that's great. So you have a project you have ongoing projects all the time.
Right.
That's wonderful. Now, of course, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, you guys do have a website.
Right.
And that is crazyquiltersguild.org.
Right.
So, of course, if they want to get in touch with you, donate, maybe participate, come check out what you have going on.
Right.
We are open in Clubhouse 4
Okay.
in the quilting room on Mondays between 9 and 4 and Thursdays between 12 and 8.
Okay.
We encourage anybody that wants to learn to quilt or already does to join us. We're a friendly group. We have a good time. I've learned a lot.
Oh, well, yeah, and only for a year. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you so much for the information.
for having
Congratulations
us.
on all your work. And thank you so much for helping out all those people.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. If you want more information, of course, you can always go to crazyquiltersguild.org. We have run out of time, and we appreciate you watching our show. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We do have another show at 9 a.m. And then, of course, we have a special 1 hour on Memorial Day Monday. Bye-bye.
Dr. Farman, a tremendously generous dentist, did the work for me throughout my mouth, and I am happy to say my mouth is back to where it was, and my smile is back.
We are now fully open for all your dental needs and invite you to come in and experience the brilliant smile difference.
We offer general dentistry, crowns, dentures, root canals, and oral surgery, including immediate tooth replacement with implants. We are close to Gate 6.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.